Hello everyone, welcome back to my little corner of YouTube, of internet. Welcome to Shmaybe Gaming. Today we will be playing one of the three, which one I haven't decided yet. Three of the Deathtrap Dungeon Trilogy fighting fantasy gamebooks. Initially I wanted to try Curse of the Mummy game, which was via recommendation from a subscriber, but I haven't been able to find it in on Steam. Neither could I find the other suggestions like Eye of the Dragon, Temple of Terror, Scorpion Swamp. If there is a digital version of it, please let me know. I'll try to buy it and make it run somehow. But anyway, never played these three. These are Deathtrap Dungeon, A Trial of Champions, and Armies of Death. Now, unlike previous fighting fantasy games that I played on this channel, these are not strictly interactive fiction gamebooks. These are more of a hybrid between an actual tabletop game and a text adventure. So let's see, which one shall we try? I don't know how they stack up on the difficulty side. Are they put in order via difficulty? But I kind of don't want to deal with a classic dungeon maze thingy. Let's try Armies of Death and hope it's not the most difficult one, because it looks interesting. So Armies of Death. Oh, looks like we cannot. Why can't we play it? Aglex the Shadow Demon is amassing an army of undead warriors to conquer Alansia. Setting up off Fang with a troop of veteran fighters, you journey east to meet the enemy. But the Shadow Demon is not of this world and special powers are needed to destroy him. The longer you spend searching for these powers, the stronger he will be. Looks like we cannot. Whoops. Interesting. Well, I guess they are ordered by difficulty then. Let's try and play Deathtrap Dungeon then. Down in the twisting labyrinth of Fang, unknown horrors await you. Countless adventurers before you have taken up the challenge, but none have survived. Devised by the devilish mind of Baron Succumvit, the labyrinth is riddled with fiendish traps and hideous creatures of darkness to trick and test you almost beyond the limits of endurance. Okay, let's try. So we need to pick a character. Are we a dwarf? A very, very dwarfish looking dwarf. But wings on his helmet look very much like... if you ever seen that old film Flash Gordon, that general that's played by Brian Blessed has a very similar helmet. And look, Elf looks very anime inspired for some reason. And this barbarian looks like a buff, beefy version of Tommy Wiseau. And we have a pretty generic looking rogue, even though he looks more like a mage to me, but what do I know? I mean, a rogue is not a race, and here we have Barbarian Elf Dwarf, so what do we do? Right? Paladin. Yeah, that's a pretty sweet looking paladin actually. I like the full plate armor. And Chaos Warrior. No idea, let's pick Paladin. I like paladins. Select skill and luck values. Minimum 6, maximum 12. Skill reflects hero's swordsmanship and fighting expertise. Okay, so we are naturally skillful. A small chance of automatic success during skill tests, if we leave it at this. Then we have luck, and we have stamina. Interesting. So we have lives here. Okay. So difficulty, we choose difficulty. And I'm interested in does this change the difficulty of the encounters at all, or it just gives us more lives? So let's go with adventure, because these games are notoriously difficult and I have no idea what I'm facing. So select skill. Do we have curse resistant, naturally lucky, quick learner, or trap knowledge? I think curse resistance might be good as a catch-all protection. I think we can offset naturally skillful with some nice gear if we can find it. Now luck, I don't know if we should increase it, but let's increase skill. And yeah, let's put it all in skill. I think we should. Yeah, I think this is what we'll try. Okay, so we have an overmap. Interesting. You leave the village of Anvil and the warmth of the Two Moons Tavern. The village seems a much happier place since Zagor the Warlock was defeated some years ago. To give the bards of Elanja new tales to tell, you decide to check the local news sheets and notice boards in the nearby towns. Oh, we have even animation, actual movement here. Interesting. As you head south towards Stonebridge, a messenger runs towards you from the west. He stops and spends a few moments catching his breath. Okay, sir, I have a message from Baron Succumbit of Fang. This year's Trial of Champions will soon be upon us, and the Baron is seeking adventurers to travel to the city of Fang and take part in the walk. Are you brave enough? Speaking of the walk, this is some good coffee. Did you ever guys read that Bachman book, The Long Walk? Well, it's a Stephen King book, but I heavily recommend it. It's like it was written more than 30 years ago, and it precedes all of those young adult novels about games to the death, things like the Hunger Games and such. But it's actually good. The premise is there's this very I would say unspecified cataclysm that has happened in the United States, and there's this lottery of some kind where teenagers just are chosen to walk as long as they can from one side of the country to another, and the last one who survives is a winner. And the only catch is you cannot stop, so you must keep moving. You have well, I won't be spoiling anything, but it's a tight book. I recommend it. Okay, so let's ask about the trial. Ah, the messenger exclaims. I thought everybody knew of the Trial of Champions. Forgive me, I will explain everything. Yes, please do. Fang is situated on the banks of River Cock, northwest from here. So, here I suppose. Once a year the river is crammed with boats as people arrive from hundreds of miles around, hoping to witness the breaking of an ancient tradition in Fang and see a victor in the Trial of Champions. On 1st May each year, warriors and heroes come to Fang to face the test of their lives. Survival is unlikely, yet many take the risk, for the prize is great, a purse of 10,000 gold pieces. However, to become champion is no easy task. Some years ago, the Baron of Fang, called Succumbit, decided to bring attention to his town by creating the ultimate contest. With the help of the townspeople, he constructed a labyrinth deep in the hillside behind Fang, from which there was only one exit. The labyrinth was filled with all kinds of deadly tricks and traps and loathsome monsters. Succumbent has designed it in meticulous detail so that anybody hoping to face its challenge would have to use their wits as well as weapon skill. When he was finally satisfied that all was complete, he put his labyrinth to the test. He picked 10 of his finest guards and fully armed, they marched into the labyrinth. They were never seen again. The tale of the ill-fated guard soon spread through the land, and it was then that Succumbit announced the first trial of champions. The first year, 17 brave warriors attempted the walk, as it later became to be known, and not one reappeared. As the years passed and the trial of champions continued, it attracted more and more challengers and spectators. Fang prospered and would prepare itself months in advance for the spectacle it hosted each May. Well, he seems to have boosted the local economy quite a bit. I mean, that's a good way to fill your treasury, right? Okay, the town would be decorated, tents erected, dining halls built, musicians, dancers, fire eaters, illusionists, and every sort of entertainer hired, and entries registered from the hopeful individuals intent on making the walk. You thank the messenger and wish him safe travels, then head to Fang with a sense of excitement. I don't know, are we a type of person who gets excited over such a thing? I don't know about that. Okay, let's turn on some light here. I don't know about you guys and gals, but it's kind of almost an evening here, and the quarantine measures, not to speak of them too much, are kind of getting lessened, and I'm very happy about that. Even though I am a bit of a homebody, as you might expect from a self-proclaimed bookworm, but I still like the ability to go outside, even if I choose not to. You arrive at Town of Fang and make your way down narrow alleyways between houses, heading towards the sound of a cheering crowd. Okay. So the animations are static from what I see, but oh no, sorry, the flames here are animated. You come to a wide dirt road lined with cheering crowds. Ahead you see the dark mouth of a tunnel disappearing into inner depths. Okay. Amongst the excited crowds of spectators, you spot a man to your right who is a town official. It tells you that you must register your entry into the tournament with him. So I don't have to walk to him? Or am I already here? I'm already here. Okay. You must register a name to begin. We are Sir... Well, we're not a Sir, right? This was a female character. We are Lady Shmei. Nah. Okay, that's the limit, I guess. Lady Shmei. You register your entry and the official turns to the crowd and announces your name. A huge cheer erupts. Looking around, you spot what looks like a stall with a vendor selling weapons. A group of excited onlookers who are pointing at you, and a group of people stood at the entrance to the tunnel. You have unlocked the title of the contestant. Okay, you have gained a quest. Okay. You can view active quests in your quest log. Okay. When you complete a quest, you gain experience points and possibly other rewards. Your experience points progress bar is shown to the left. When this bar reaches 100%, you will be able to upgrade your die. Okay. Not sure what to think about this UI. I think it's nicer, but okay, you're the contestant. But nicer doesn't automatically mean more functional, and I guess time will tell how functional this is. So this is health. Okay. Well, for one thing, I don't know. I guess even a small bit of graphical representation goes a long way in the imagination department. So, Deathtrap Dungeon Quest. Survive the walk and emerge victorious. Easy for you to say. A weapon stall stands to the left of the tunnel entrance with many swords lay upon it. A group of 5 people is stood near the entrance to the tunnel, possibly the other contestants. Okay. Business first. Let's find some swords. The weapon vendor sees you have no weapon and gives you a basic sword. That's it. Roll a level 1 weapon die in combat. Okay. Okay, so let's talk to spectator. A weeping woman grabs hold of your arm and pleads with you to find her husband inside the dungeon. He's been gone for over 4 years and she lost all hope of ever seeing him again. You have gained a quest. Rescue the prisoner. Do we have to equip it? No, it's just a card. Oh, I see. It's like a... Okay, yeah. It's handled via cards. We have a deck. Okay, yeah, that checks out. You see Baron Succumbed himself standing by the entrance, waiting to greet the contenders in the Trial of Champions. You count 5 others standing proudly in line. There are 2 bare-chested barbarians dressed in furs. They stand completely motionless, legs straight and slightly apart. A sleek elven woman with golden hair and feline green eyes is adjusting with a crossbelt of daggers wrapped around her leather tunic. I guess that was the enemy elf lady. Okay. Of the 2 remaining men, one is covered from head to foot in iron plate armor with a plumed helmet and a crested shield. That was the Chaos Warrior, I guess. The other is cloaked in black robes, only his dark eyes showing between the swaths of his black face scarves. Long knives, a wire garrote, and other silent death weapons hang from his belt. The 5 contenders acknowledge your arrival with almost imperceptible nods to the head. I wonder if we will encounter them as our opponents or NPCs in the maze, in the dungeon, or is this just an acknowledgement of all characters which are here? Okay, let's start the trial. As you get closer, you notice 2 great stone pillars on either side of the tunnel entrance. The pillars are covered with ornate carvings, writhing serpents, demons, deities, each seeming to scream a silent warning to those who would pass beyond them. Suddenly a hush falls over the crowd as Baron Succumbed steps forward holding 6 bamboo sticks. You draw one from his outstretched hand and read the word 5th. Then the trial begins. The knight is first. Oh, that's why. I see now. He salutes the crowd before disappearing into the tunnel. He is followed half an hour later by the elf. Next goes the barbarian and then the dark assassin. Now it is your turn to salute the crowd. You take one final deep breath of cool fresh air before turning to pass between the stone-pillared gateway into Succumbed's corridors of power to face unknown perils on the walk through the mighty Baron's Deathtrap dungeon. Okay. How very cinematic. The clamor of excited spectators gradually fades behind you as you venture deep into the gloom of the cavern tunnel. Okay, yeah. You arrive at the stone table standing against the wall to your left. On it there are 6 boxes. 4 of the boxes are open and empty, and of the 2 closed boxes, one has your name painted on the lid and the other has the word Throm painted on it. Do we try the fate already? Is there a save state? No, there's not. That's fine. Okay. We are resistant to curses, so let's try and open our box. The lid slides off the box easily. Inside you find 2 gold pieces, I wonder how much that is. And a note addressed to you. You read the message, which says, "Well done. At least you have the sense to stop and take advantage of the token aid given to you. You will need to find and use several items if you hope to pass triumphantly through my Deathtrap dungeon. Signed, Succumbit." Okay, let's go. As you move on from the boxes, you think about the other contestants and wonder how they will each fare in this deadly dungeon. You have gained a quest, the Knight. Oh, yeah, well, I guess that answers my question about other contestants. You arrive at the junction. A white arrow painted on the wall points west. On the floor you can see wet footprints. It looks as though 3 of them follow the directions of the arrow while 1 heads east. Well, on one hand we do have curse protection, and this looks cursed as hell, but it also might contain traps, and I am not too eager to fall into a trap. On the other hand, these wood planks might as well be traps as well, and I don't know. Let's try this. When you find floating question marks, you will draw the top card from a deck of cards which you must encounter. Okay. Each location has its own deck of cards made up of monsters, treasures, traps, and other events. The deck is shuffled at the start of the game, and you'll always draw the top card from the deck. If you draw a monster card, you will enter combat to the death. Some monsters will be unlocked in your creature codex and then killed. Okay. When you draw a treasure card, you will take that card into your inventory. Click the inventory button to view all of your treasures. Your treasures will appear at the bottom of the screen when they can be used. When you drop a trap card, you must follow the instructions on the card. The trap knowledge special skill will reduce damage caused by traps. If the card includes a luck or skill test, the target score will be shown on the die icon at the top left of the card. When you draw an event card, you must follow the instructions on the card. If the card includes luck or skill test, the target score will be shown on the dice icon at the top left of the card. Okay. When you draw a treasure card, you will take that card into your inventory. Click the inventory button to view all of your treasures. Your treasures will appear at the bottom of the screen when they can be used. Bandage. Use this bandage to remove 1 injury from your skill dice. Okay. Thank you. You notice the air becoming hotter and you find yourself panting even though you're walking quite slowly. In a small recess you see a section of bamboo with a clear liquid pouring from it. Your throat is painfully dry and you feel a little dizzy from the heat in the tunnel. The liquid looks very inviting. "I am not a fool, dear sir. I mean, this is just like a test for schmucks. Yes, let's create a very hot environment and put this very convenient water fountain next to it, which is definitely not cursed because you will surely want to quench your thirst and no. The temperature continues to rise and you find yourself dripping with sweat. The floor in this area looks like hot ash and you struggle to walk across it. Come on, we can do it. Pools of molten lava give off a tremendous heat which you find almost unbearable. You feel yourself passing out. You shake your head, trying desperately to stop yourself from blacking out, but the heat is too much for you. Test your skill, target score 1. Okay. Skillful, okay. Only your immense strength and grim determination keep you from falling unconscious to the floor. You grit your teeth and press on resolutely. Okay. On the left side of the tunnel is a closed door. It has a small iron plate in it which might possibly slide open. I wonder if it will slide open and pull us in, but let's try. Okay. The door opens into a small room, but before you know what's happening, you feel an intense heat on your lower legs. You look down to see that you're standing in what looks like molten lava. You wince with pain. You lose 4 stamina. Great. Well, let's grab the rope, I guess. That might be useful. You take the rope, jump back across the lava, and then leave the room and head north. Okay. I hope it was worth it. I really do. Let's leave this boiler of a area. The footsteps you are following lead to a closed iron door to the left. Sure. The door opens into a chamber where you are shocked to see one of your rivals, who has obviously met with a sudden gory death. This is very pixelated and very unclear. But yeah, that looks like a chopped up person. It's one of the barbarians, and he is impaled on several iron spikes which are fixed to a frame that was sprung out of the floor. You spot a tripwire on the floor, which he must have stepped on. You spot. We have not tripped it. And it thus released in the spiked frame. Okay, in the far wall is an alcove, in which you can see a silver goblet standing on a small wooden table. You have completed a quest. Okay, and we have got an upgrade for our die. You have reached the next XP target. Choose which die to upgrade. I think it would be useful to round up our luck a bit. That might be good. And let's see what he has. The pouch of Barbarian belt is empty apart from strange looking dried meat wrapped in cloth. What about his sword? Well, at least we returned some stamina, but I still would like that sword. I bet it's better than our basic sword. The goblet contains a sparkling red liquid. Do we drink it and die? No, we do not. I don't want to. The passage soon leads to a junction. You notice more footprints on the floor heading north. You decide to follow them. Let's follow them. There is a large idol in the center of this cavern, standing approximately 6 meters high. That's huge. It has jeweled eyes, each as big as your fist. There are 2 giant stuffed bird-like creatures standing on either side of the idol. Oh, these things? The texture looks indistinguishable from the idol. But if they are alive, I guess they are alive. Approach the idol. The idol is very smooth and will be difficult to climb. Let's climb it. Slowly and carefully begin to climb the idol. Test your luck. Okay. Nope. Unlucky. We lose 2 stamina. Oh well. Let's try again. Even with improved luck. Okay. Last time. Finally. Yes. Very good. You just managed to regain your footing, scramble up the idol and reach its shoulder. Now what? Which jeweled eye would you like to prize out first? Let's go for the right one. You try to force the emerald eye out from its socket. Much to your surprise, it shatters, releasing a jet of poisonous gas right into your face. Okay, fine. Great. Excellent. As you touch the emerald eye of the idol, you hear a creaking sound below you. Looking down, you are shocked to see 2 stuffed birds taking flight. Their wings flap in jerky movements, but they are soon above you and look set to attack. Fight these flying guardians one at a time, but roll 2 fewer skill dice because of your restricted position. Okay. Okay. Can we at least use this bandage? No, I suppose not. Okay, we might die. No, this is just terrible, and we are going to die, are we? Yes, we are. You fall to the ground and everything goes black. You have lost a life. Okay, that was fast. You eventually regain consciousness. Stamina replenished. When your stamina reaches 0, yeah, I get that. So we still have our stuff. Well, at least we haven't died. No, I don't want to open Thromp's box. I, sir, am not a thief. This time, let's go to left. And up. And you hear footsteps from ahead. Okay, it's an orc with 6 health. We can take him, I think. We should be able to take him. Excellent. Excellent. Keep clicking on the thing here. Roll. And we did it. And we have him here in the codex. But the ninja, who was the ninja? I don't remember a ninja. Anyway, let's see. When you draw a trap card, you must follow the instruction on the card. Yeah, I've seen that already. Checking for secret passages, you push the wall here, click, feel dizzy, and slump to the ground. Lose 2 stamina. Fine. I wonder if we should have chosen the rogue character, the thief. But whatever. The passage soon leads to a junction. You notice more footprints on the floor heading north. You decide to follow them. Okay. The idol room again. We've been there already. No thank you. I'm sure the left eye is if you can keep it some kind of very nifty magical thingy, but no. Okay, so we're attacked by a rock grub. A nasty looking shy hulud. The Maker! Haha. There you go. Okay. Well, the paladin is not, I was just going to say, not the most proficient fighter in the world, but then we just landed a really good roll. So what do I know? No treasure? Oh well. Ahead you see a thin shaft of light coming out of the tunnel wall. It sparkles and shimmers and you can see images of laughing faces in the light. Let's avoid the light. I don't want to die. However, let's see if there's anything here. A soft humming sound fills the air in this room. There appears to be a shallow pit filled with mass-eating worms. You're about to turn away when you notice that their bodies are swarming around the dagger, its point held fast in crack in the pit floor. Taking the dagger would mean plunging your head in among the eating worms. Let's try our fate. A fine weapon found in a pit of eating worms. Great. As you make your way back to the doorway, the buzzing sound increases intensely. A giant fly swoops down on you from the roof of the cavern and swipes at you with one of its legs. Test your luck. Okay. Great. We did it. The giant fly misses you. You prepare yourself and attack the giant fly. Okay, let's... Oh, it's nasty. Let's kill it. Let's strike with great damage. Well, it hits hard for a fly, but we hit harder. Indeed. Come on, finish it off. You wipe the vile yellow slime from your weapon and continue north. Yes, great. Why can't I use this bandage? I would like to use this bandage, please. I'm not in the battle. Why can't I use the bandage? Okay, fine, whatever. Let's go there. Sounds like looks like a shortcut. Used to heal our stamina back to initial value. Okay, yeah, let's use it. Thank you. This was worth it. Oh, so maybe the bandage is permanent. It permanently removes one. Which doesn't make much sense since, well, I guess if it's reusable, but anyway. A large mirror stands at the other end of this room, and in the dim light you can just about make out your own reflection. You could enter the room and investigate the mirror, or return to the last junction in the tunnel in order to head east. Fine, let's go. You step in the mirror and are amused by your distorted reflection. Your head looks as large as a pumpkin, and your face is exceedingly strange. Suddenly, a terrible pain pounds through your head and you struggle to look away from your reflection. You grip your head with your hands and realize with horror that it is expanding. You can withstand the pain no longer. You lose 6 stamina. The pain subsides and you manage to look away from your reflection at last. There doesn't seem to be anything else of interest and you leave ahead. Really? That was cheap. I was hoping we would fight a reflection of ourselves or something, but In front of you is a deep dark pit. The passage continues east on the other side. You think you could probably jump over the pit, but you're not sure. Sure, let's roll some die. Come on. You make it across the side. Speaking of cheap, no jump animation. Just a little cut to the text box. Okay, the walls of this room are lined with the most extraordinarily lifelike statues of knights and warriors. An old man dressed in tattered rags suddenly jumps out from behind of the statues and starts to giggle. In a high-pitched voice he says, "Oh good, someone else has come to play my little game. Behind me lies a chest filled with mysterious treasures. I will allow you to take one treasure from the chest if you answer a question correctly. If you answer incorrectly, you must leave this room at once." Do we attack him, answer the question, and run away? Well, what would Agent Cooper do? He would try to answer a question. The old man points at one of the statues and smiles, saying, "This man weighs 100 pounds plus half his weight." How much does he weigh? Okay. Incorrect. Leave this room immediately. As you head toward the door, you leave the room, you notice that the statue the old man pointed at is the knight who started the Trial of Champions. An agonized look on his face, set in stone for all eternity. You have completed a quest. I guess that was the fate of one of the contestants. Let's upgrade skill. Fine, let's go. Probably the former contestant attacked him, so that's why he was set in stone. You see another closed door in the left-hand wall. The letter X is scratched in the center panel. Putting your ear to the door, you can listen intently but hear nothing. Probably a monster of some kind, but... There is a stone chair in the middle of this room. Sitting in the chair is a skeleton of an armed warrior, possibly a contestant from years gone by. The skeletal fingers of its right hand are gripped around a piece of parchment. As you approach the skeleton warrior, it rises from its chair in a series of jerky movements and raises its sword to strike. Of course it does, it's a skeleton. In a fantasy game, of course it's going to attack us. And for someone with such a edgy, cool design, he sure doesn't have a lot of health. Boink. Okay, let's get him. Reach for the parchment, only this time it is lying amidst a pile of broken bones. Unfolding it, you see a map of a room with a drawing of a hideous creature inside it. Beneath the monster is a rhyme. If you meet a manticore of its tail, beware, shield yourselves against the spikes flying through the air. Okay, thank you. I would have preferred something more tangential, but this will do as well. An angry looking caveman runs at you and attacks. A caveman? Really? Okay, let's fight the caveman. He does look like a Neanderthal. Let's roll die and hope he doesn't hit hard. We almost one-shot him. Okay. And did we receive anything? No, we haven't. Oh well. We need to replenish our stamina somehow. You see a great ogre standing over 2 meters tall. He attacks you with his large wooden club. Okay, a lot of encounters suddenly. Oh, that landed hard. That landed real hard. We might be in trouble. Indeed, we are in trouble. Hopefully we get some kind of a potion or something. No such luck. Oh well. I'm so going to die. Very soon. Can already see it. The door opens in a small room in which there is a human skull with jeweled eyes resting on top of a marble plinth. 2 loaded crossbows are fixed to the left and right hand walls, and 2 small wooden balls lie on the floor. Pick up the skull, throw a ball at the skull. Let's throw. You aim and hurl the wooden ball at the skull. Test your skill. Target skull. Skill 3. Seriously? Yes, let's try again. At least it's not shooting at us. Great. The wooden ball smashes into the skull, knocking it off the plinth and on the floor. Much to your surprise, the crossbows do not release their deadly bolts. You step into the room, cautiously examine the skull. You recognize the jeweled eyes as topaz and eagerly take one from its socket. Topaz, gem taken from a human skull. You wonder whether or not trouble still awaits you in this room. You could carefully leave the room holding the skull or replace the skull on the plinth before leaving the room. Let's replace it. There is an unseen pressure plate on top of the plinth, and as soon as the skull is put back on it, the device is sprung. Immediately, the crossbow releases their bolts. Test your luck, of course. I'm such an idiot. Seriously? Now that the trap has been sprung, you can leave the room by the door which you entered. So yeah, we're pretty much dead. A dead woman walking. You find yourself in what looks like a gallery lined with mirrors. A human skeleton appears to be pulled halfway through a mirror along the right-hand wall. Suddenly, a grotesque being with 4 arms and 4 screaming faces emerges from the mirror, barring your way ahead. It is a mirror demon from another dimensional plane. Do we attack or smash the mirror? Let's smash the mirror. You swing your sword against the mirror with all your might, but to no effect. The mirror does not break and the manticore demon advances. Well, yeah, let's fight the mirror demon, even though we're going to die, but there is no way we can one-shot it. And this topaz, whatever this is not going to help one bit, is it? So, yeah, we're dead. Yeah, whatever. Okay. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Okay, yes. To the left. Over there. You spot something over the corner of your eye. Healing potion. Excellent. Excellent. Okay. Ahead of the dim light, you see 2 hobgoblins, fighting, punching, and kicking each other furiously. Do you sneak past them, talk to them, or attack them? There is a leather bag lying on the floor. It seems to be this way that they're fighting over. Well, I wonder... Right, we have 3 options, and I wonder what kind of roll, if there is a roll or there is a fail state. So if we talk to them, they might just turn to us and attack us anyway. If we attack them, they might also come together and attack us. If we sneak past them, we might do a roll for a sneaking, maybe kind of a luck roll. Even though I don't see how we could sneak as a fully plated paladin warrior in a very brightly lit room, but let's just attack them. The hobgoblins are unprepared for your attack, and you are able to kill the first one before he can draw his sword. Excellent. You turn to face the remaining hobgoblin, who snarls at you with hatred. Good, hobgoblin, let the hate flow through you. Yes. The hobgoblins have nothing of any use to you on them, so you decide to open the bag on the floor. Inside you find a corked earthenware jug. You uncork it and sniff the liquid inside. It smells sharp and acrid. No, I'm not going to drink it. I'm not a fool. I'm going to dip some cloth in it. Acrid smoke rises from the jug as you lower the cloth into it. The liquid is unmistakably acid. You recork the jug and place it in your backpack, hoping it may be of use later. You sheath your sword and press on. Great. Yeah, if we ever find ourselves trapped in a cell or something, we might use it. Like that scene from the Richie Rich film, where the butler melts his cell bar with what was it? toothpaste, which was actually laced with acid or something like that. I don't know. I haven't seen that movie in ages. You sit and rest on a bench for a while, +5 stamina. How nice. I wish it was +5 to existing stamina pool, but what can you do? What can you do? The passage soon leads to a junction. You notice more footprints on the floor heading north. You decide to follow them. Did I decide to follow them or the game did? Because, yeah, there is a large idol in the center of this cavern, standing approximately 6 meters high. It has jeweled eyes, each big as your fist. There are 2 giant stout bird-like creatures standing on the side of the idol. Yeah, I'm not doing that ever. Nor am I doing this. Nor am I going into the light. No, thank you. And we already have a dagger. I very much doubt we have a respawning situation there. So, seriously. You plunge headlong into depths below. You land heavily on your back. You lose 2 stamina. Okay, fine. Suddenly your hand touches something cold, hard, and smooth. The object is small around, but you can somehow figure it out. You place it in your backpack, hoping to see what it is once you're out of the pit. You crawl forward until you reach the pit wall. You use your sword to cut head and toe, holding in it with your sword. You finally climb out of the pit on the east side. Okay, fine, yes. You check the object from the pit and discover that you have found a norm of blood red ruby. Blood red ruby found by the bottom of the chasm. Okay. No. You see another closed door in the left-hand wall. The letter X is scratched into its center panel. Putting your ear to the door, you listen intently but hear nothing. Hear nothing, see nothing. Let's go. A long, thin tunnel continues up ahead and you cannot see where it leads. You notice a thin tripwire stretched low across the passage. Test your luck. Barely made it. Great. Luckily the tripwire is undisturbed. You spot something shining on the ground just up ahead. Test your luck. Okay, we are going to pass. How good. You spot several raised metal plates on the ground and manage to avoid stepping on them. Okay. You reach a dead end in the tunnel where a huge boulder sits, possibly as a part of some kind. You carefully investigate the ground around the boulder and find a shiny sapphire. We can open a jewelry store with the amount of various knickknacks and rocks we found. You quickly head back to the door you passed earlier. Checking for secret passages, you push the wall, hear a click. This old chestnut. Again. This was cheap because I hate it when the game takes the control from you. You see nothing lying on the ground. Find an old book which describes training techniques, +5 experience. Okay. Right. Provisions. Your initial stamina increases by 1, gain 1 life. And now this I can get behind. This is great. You arrive at the door in the right hand wall to which withered hand is nailed. Sounds like a warning to me. There is a pipe in the right hand wall about a meter in diameter. It's too dark to see far down it. You shout into it and hear your voice echoing down the iron pipe until eventually the sound fades away. Great. But I'm not going into a pipe. I am not John McClane. I am a fantasy warrior. Part of the dungeon ceiling collapses. Dodge the failing rocks by rolling 3 skill dice. Lose 1 stamina for each blank rolled. Okay. That was underwhelming. And who is this? The tunnel soon ends at the junction. Standing there alone and wondering which way to go is one of your rivals. It is one of the barbarians. You call out to him, but at first he does not answer. He merely stares at you coldly, his hands firmly gripping his sword. You ask him which way he is heading. He grunts his reply, saying that he is going west, and you may go with him if you wish. Yeah, I will. I will drink this first, but you feel slightly uneasy in the company of the barbarian, knowing that there can only be one winner in the Trial of Champions. Yes, there can only be one. Because here we are, born to be kings. We're the princess of the universe. He introduces himself as Throm, and you both agree to share in the benefits of a temporary alliance. Yes. You tell each other of your exploits so far, of the monsters and traps encountered, and the dangers overcome. Let's go! You soon come to the edge of a wide pit, which has a large plank of wood laid across it. You can't quite see the bottom of the pit, but Throm offers to lower you down into it with his rope. Okay. Yeah, let's climb down. You tie the rope around your waist, and Throm lowers you over the edge of the pit and down into the darkness below. You drop several meters before hitting the bottom of the pit. There you see another tunnel heading north, and you call up to Throm and tell him of your discovery. He calls back, saying he's going to tie the rope around the protruding rock on the edge of the pit and will come down to join you. You hear him climbing down the rope, and soon you are together again. Throm retrieves his rope by shaking it off the rock, and you set off north along the new tunnel. Do we now? On a stone ledge you see 2 dusty leather-bound books. Throm grunts his contempt for the written word. Now, Throm, we are no friends. We are friends no longer, because the written word is something I'm very passionate about. And you should change your opinion, because it is bad. On a stone ledge you see 2 dusty leather-bound books. Throm grunts his contempt. Yes. Do we open the red or the black book? Let's open the red one. As you open the book, it begins to disintegrate, and the pages turn to dust in your hands. You manage to keep a few fragments and read the handwritten script. The book appears to be about monsters, and it contains a full description of a monster called the Bloodbeast. It is a horrific, bloated creature with tough, spiny skin. How can a skin be spiny? And facial blisters which burst open to become mock eyes, evolved to hide Bloodbeast's only weak spot, its real eyes. Okay. Bloodbeasts usually dwell in the pools of fetid slime which give off a poisonous gas. This gas is so strong that it can easily knock people unconscious. The Bloodbeast, although too bulbous to haul itself out of its slime pool, has a long and vicious tongue which it wraps around its victims before it drags them into the pool. As the victim's flesh starts to decompose in the vile slime, the Bloodbeast will feed from it. That's very graphic. You tell Throm about the Bloodbeast, but he merely shrugs his shoulders and tells you to get going. You have gained a quest. Defeat the Bloodbeast. Do I have to? Do I really have to? The tunnel turns to the right, continuing east. Throm stops and tells you to halt as well. He turns his head slowly from side to side, listening. I hear footsteps coming down the tunnel towards us, he whispers. Draw your sword. Yes, let's draw our sword and our dagger. You both prepare for battle, and a moment later you see the silhouette of 2 armed figures approaching. two ogres or orcs. Cave trolls. Throm dashes forward, screaming a loud battle cry. There are two cave trolls in front of you. Throm attacks the first one with his sword, and you run to his aid and attack the second cave troll. Okay, it's a cave troll and has 9 health. Let's slice him and dice him. Pretty rough. Pretty rough. Come on. Great. Upgrade. Yeah, let's upgrade skill. As I think there'll be more nasties along ahead. Throm stands over the cave troll he has slain. Blood is pouring out from a deep cut in his shoulder, but it does not seem to worry him. You search the bodies of cave trolls and find a bone ring on a leather cord hanging around the neck on one of them. The ring is engraved with a symbol which Throm recognizes. He explains that it must have belonged to druids of the north, and that an ancient talisman such as this will increase your powers if your body is able to accept it. Throm will not touch it and advises you to leave it well alone. Let's live a little. As soon as you put the ring on your finger, your whole body starts to shake. Test your skill. Okay. Yes, we did it. Your body continues to vibrate intensely and you feel as if you're about to pass out. Your strength is great and you manage to withstand the tremendous shock to your system. Finally, you calm down and begin to feel the ring's beneficial powers working on you. You gain 5 stamina. You both head east. Okay, what does it do? Where is it? So you have sapphire, provisions, bandage, dagger, ruby, parchment, short sword, special skill, rope, jug of acid. So it's not an item, it's a one-off event. I swear, these games, it's like there's no rhyme or reason when something is an item or just an event or a one-off or a reusable item. It makes no sense. So we find this ring and it has some powers and it doesn't even appear in the inventory, which means this is stupid. The tunnel leads into a damp cavern with a rock-strewn floor. Long dripping teeth like stalactites head down threateningly from the ceiling. Do we search or do we go? Let's go, because I don't want to gain or suffer damage. You enter a small chamber which has an ornate chair in the center of it. Sat in the chair is a dwarf who acknowledges your arrival. Adventurers, you have done well to get this far, says the dwarf in a deep voice. However, as you both know, there can only be one winner in the Trial of Champions. As a trial master, it is my duty to bear in circumvent to let only the most able continue. Therefore, I must devise a test of wits and strength to eliminate one of you. Now, if you would care to decide between you who will go first, I shall make the necessary preparations. Throm leans over and whispers in your ear that you should try to kill the dwarf. You could join Throm in attacking the dwarf, or you persuade him to go through with the test instead. Now, what do we do? Because on one hand, we've seen with the old man that attacking one of the NPCs who are not hostile, who work for the circumvent, may be an instant fail state. On the other hand, maybe the game will surprise me and we can body up and defeat him, or the game will pull a rug underneath me and Throm will betray me. But let's attack the dwarf. Of course, of course. As you prepare to attack the dwarf, he quickly pulls out 2 hand darts from his belt and throws them at you and thrum, hitting both of you in the leg. You are both instantly paralyzed by the poison. You lose 2 stamina. Instant fail state. Not even a dice roll. Really, game? I'm disappointed. As though glued to the floor, you can only watch as the dwarf retrieves his dart from your thigh. He asks you whether you are willing to enter his contest now. You strain to nod your head. Slowly the effect of the poison wears off and la la la. The dwarf beckons you to follow him, telling Thrum to await his return. You follow him into a small, circular room. Bastard. The dwarf hands you several bone die and tells you that you must throw them on the floor, but you must predict the outcome before you throw them. You will roll all of your luck die and then count the luck symbols rolled. You must predict whether you will roll an even number of symbols, an odd number of symbols, or no symbols at all. Let's do odd number. Great. The dwarf tells you that you can now go on the second stage of the test. He reaches for a wicker basket, which he informs you contains a snake. He tips up the basket and the snake drops out on the floor. It is a cobra and it rears up the air, ready to strike. The dwarf tells you that he wishes to test your reactions. You must grasp the cobra barehanded below its head, avoiding its deadly fangs. You couch down on the floor, tensing yourself for the moment at which to seize it. Test your skill. Okay. Yay, we did it. Whatever. With lightning speed, you thrust your hand out and grip the cobra just below its open mouth. You lift it up and dangle in front of the dwarf. He doesn't flinch but says in his expressionless way, "Please put the cobra back in the basket and prepare for the final part of the test. Follow me." Okay, the dwarf opens the door and tells you to follow him through it and then wait for him. You find yourself in another circular room, although this one resembles a small arena, because I guess we will fight Thrum. Opposite the door by which you entered are 2 ominous-looking wooden doors. Suddenly you hear a shout and you look up to see a smiling dwarf standing on the balcony. In his ever calm voice, he says, "Behind each of these doors is a creature. You may choose a door to open and the creature will be unleashed." Okay. Select the door. Let's select the door on the right. You call out the dwarf and the wooden door rises slowly. It is a scorpion. A huge, grotesque black scorpion squeezes underneath it and enters the room. You draw your sword in readiness and prepare to fight the sinister creature with its huge pincers and deadly stick. The giant scorpion deals double damage due to the poisonous barb on its tail. Nasty, very nasty. Okay, let's fight it. That's weak. We need to defeat him as quickly as possible because of the double damage. Oh, this is bad. This is real bad. We're dead. Okay. Okay. Should we take Thrum's stuff? No, let's not. Okay, yeah, let's go there. Whatever. Yes, excellent. Let's go. And work. Well, that was random. What was he doing there? Not trading his blade, apparently, because he can't land a hit to save his life. This thing again, yes, whatever, okay, sure. I don't want it, no thank you. No, sir. No! Oh, okay, I did not want to do this, but as you enter the light, you hear the sound of muffled voices. A young girl's head voice hovers in front of you and she begins to whisper a poem. Transfixed, you listen intently, believing that she has a special message for you as she recites. When corridor doth water meet, do not make a quick retreat. Take a breath and jump deep in if your trial you hope to win. Her face then slowly disappears and you head north. You have gained a quest. Okay, at least it's not an event which caused us to lose copious amounts of stamina. If I fail this again, I swear. Okay, let's... Oh, great, great. Okay, let's go. Now go, 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 go. Go, 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 go. I don't care. Go, 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 go. Yes, yes. Test our luck. We have tested our luck. And yes, okay. Great. Go. Need 3. And nothing, but okay, fine. Unlucky. Fine. Great. Yes, and creature, a goblin, bloody goblin. Let's... Wow, that's a really weak hit. Keep misclicking. We need to find some armor, some gear of some kind. I think we are... in general, I was expecting for this character to be more of a tank. But this character can't actually withstand that many hits. You hear a fluttering of wings and look up to see giant bats swooping down on you to attack. Bats, great. What an ugly looking creature. Kill it. Kill it with a great prejudice and damage. It's a bloody bat. I misclicked again. Come on. An ogre. Okay, fine. Come on, we're getting our ass kicked. Let's kill this ogre. Yeah, let's upgrade skill. No, let's not. Hold the pipe. Old book, 5 more experience. Okay, great. Kinda useless. No barbarian here. What happened to the man, I wonder? A backpack on the floor, possibly belonging to one of your rivals. You reach into it to see what it contains. Roll 6 luck dice and gain 1 gold piece for each success. Okay, great, but do I really need gold? So far, no use found for gold, and unless I can buy something. You enter a small chamber which has an ornate chair in the center of it. Set in chair is a dwarf. Yes, let's do the test. Okay. Let's see, maybe it will be an even number. Not very good. Do we take a red pill or a green pill? Okay, green pill. The pill makes you feel as though the whole world is against you. You receive a curse. One of your luck dice is now cursed, but we are immune to curses. That's our skill, isn't it? Curse resistant. You are unaffected by curses. So what is this? Does this mean we are cursed or we are not cursed? Because we have a card that specifically is our special skill. We are unaffected by curses, and this was a... I swear, this game picking and choosing stuff. Okay, yes. Let's go and fight the monster. We've been there before. Yes, I know, you have creatures and stuff. I just hope it isn't poisonous, so... A fearsome beast, half man, half bull, steps into the arena. It's a minotaur. How appropriate for a maze. Steam blows from its nostrils as it works itself up into a rage, ready to attack. Suddenly it rushes forward, swinging its double axe. Okay. Minotaur. Let's fight. Not the greatest opener, but it is an opener. Come on, finish him off. The dwarf calls down from the balcony, congratulating you on your victory. He throws a sack down into the arena and tells you to relax and regain your strength for the final part of the test. Then he walks off, saying he will return in about 10 minutes. You open the sack and find a jug of wine and a cooked chicken. You could eat it and drink the dwarf's offerings, or just await his return. Let's wait. After about 20 minutes, the dwarf reappears on the balcony. He calls down to you, saying, "Well, I do have an interesting problem on my hands. Prepare to fight your next opponent." One of the wooden doors raises, and you are surprised to see a familiar face. It's Throm. Okay, fine. He is cut and badly bruised and doesn't seem to recognize you. He is clearly delirious as he staggers forward with his sword raised to attack you. The dwarf laughs and says, "The cobra bit him, but he has the strength of an ox and managed to carry on, even though most men would have died. Now you must fight him to decide which of you will continue the trial of champions. You have no option but to defend yourself against Throm." Okay. Let's do it. Now this looks like nothing. Throm, the illustration, the visual representation of his character doesn't even remotely look like him. Not even a little bit. No, for someone who is half dead and poisoned by a cobra, he still very much keeps up a fight. As you stare at Throm's still body, a bitter loathing for the dwarf fills your heart. Somehow you will avenge Throm. Yes, I will try to. You have unlocked the title Arena Champion. Engulfed in your hatred, you do not notice Dwarf entered the arena until he's standing in front of you, a loaded crossbow aimed at your chest. "I know what you're thinking," he says calmly, "but remember that only I know the way out of here. It is time for you to leave." The dwarf motions that you should leave the arena. You have completed a quest. I sure did. I wish I could refill my stamina somehow. The dwarf pushes against one of the stones in the northern wall of the chamber. A door-like section of the wall swings out, opening into a tunnel. The dwarf smiles, saying, "Good luck." I wish I could punch him, but he has a loaded crossbow. The tunnel divides in two. You hear a buzzing sound coming from the western branch. The tunnel leads into a dark chamber covered in thick cobwebs. Clawing your way through them, you kick a wooden casket. No, let's not kick it. I don't want to. The chamber heads in two doors. Let's go left. As you touch the handle, it goes soft in your hand, and when you try to pull your hand away, you find it glued to the handle. A giant fist then forms in the center of the door pedal and shoots forward, punching you in the stomach. You lose 1 stamina. Imitator. So it's like a poor man's mimic, I guess. Okay. Kill it. Come on. Kill the cousin, it. Having no other choice, you somewhat apprehensively turn the handle to the other door. Yeah, sure. Let's go. You see 2 fountains, one on each side of the tunnel, carved in the shape of cherubs. Water spouts from their mouth. What can we do but drink? The cool water is refreshing and comes from a source which has been sprinkled with pixie dust. You gain 1 stamina. You have 1 injury healed. Okay, what happens if we drink again? Of course, the cool water is refreshing but comes from a source which has been cursed by a hag. You gain 1 stamina but receive a curse. Again, I should be resistant to curses, so yeah, I hope it still works that way. Leaning against the left-hand wall of the tunnel, you see a pair of bamboo stilts. They are securely chained, and you see a label attached to a padlock which reads, "The price of these stilts is 1 gold piece. Please place the coin in the slot to release the lock." Yeah, sure. You place the coin into the slot in the padlock, and the lock clicks apart. You take the stilts. Take them, a pair of stilts made of solid wood, and yeah, let's go. The section of the tunnel ahead is covered with thick green slime. It looks threatening, so you decide to test it first with a piece of cloth. The climb's corrosive jelly burns the cloth instantly, leaving no trace. You climb up on the stilts and tentatively walk across the green slime. Great. Smoke rises from the base of the stilts as the slime starts to burn them away. Yes, yes, yes. You reach the end of the slime and climb down the stilts. They are covered in the slime and you're forced to dump them. The tunnel comes to a dead end. Ladders lead downwards and appear to be the only way forward, so you decide to climb down. Down we go. You are confronted by the most repulsive sight you have ever laid eyes on. There in front of you, following in a circular pool of fetid slime, is a bulbous creature too horrible to be believed. Yeah, it's the one. This must be the loathsome Bloodbeast which was referred to in the red leather-bound book you found. Remembering the description of the wild Bloodbeast and the warning about the toxic gas rising from its pool, you cover your mouth with your sleeve and draw your sword. Its body is covered all over with fearsome-looking spikes. Its face is a mass of crimson blisters, one of which suddenly bursts to reveal yet another of its many sinister, all-seeing eyes. You focus your attack on the Bloodbeast's eyes. Roll 2 extra skill die for the combat. Okay. Hopefully we survive this. I really hope we survive this. If we survive this turn, we might pull through. The beast sinks beneath the oily surface of the pool. Not waiting to see whether it will recover, you quickly leave the chamber. You have completed a quest. And we've gotten a die upgrade and an achievement apparently. Let's upgrade skill again. Yes. Great. I would prefer to have... oh, come on. What's this? Well, we've used the knowledge scroll or whatever. Taking heed of poem's warning, you watch out for its tail, which sprouts a profusion of sharp spikes, thick as hard as iron bolts. Knowing that the manticorn will fire the spikes in its tail at you, you quickly look around the room for cover. Suddenly, a volley of spikes flies through the air, aimed straight at your heart. You attempt to dodge out of the way, but one of them sinks into your arm. You lose 2 stamina and die. See, this is a fail state. And, yeah, this is, not, this was fun, but, the constant, retreading that you must do when you lose a life, not the fan. Might continue it next time, but for now I think this will be it. At least we slain the blood fiend, Bloodbeast. So thank you for watching, and see you next time. Bye.